Here we go. Here we go. So let's just have a short recap. Okay. Now, given z which is equal to a complex number in a form of a plus bi, where a is the real number, okay, and bi, again, bi is the imaginary number. All right, and this is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis actually, or we don't call it as x and y-axis. Tandaan yan guys ha. May mga points na kayo dyan sa long test. We call it the real axis. And this one is the imaginary axis. Imaginary. Sir, ang pangit ng sulat. Oo nga, ang pangit na ng sulat to. Sorry. Imaginary axis. Okay? Tandaan yung Gluon ah. Okay. Ang swerte nyo Gluon pagdating sa exam, lagi kayong last na VC. And at the same time, parang yung mga lessons natin ay more of a review. And anyway, Gluon is so lucky for this school year, ha? Okay, last time yung, yeah, Gluon last year din eh. And then 3 years ago, Photon yung medyo lucky. Okay, and again, these are the parts. Now, this is the algebraic form. Algebraic ba to? Rectangular form, yeah. Rectangular means algebraic. Rectangular form of the z of complex number. Okay? Hindi siya integer. Ah. Sir, ba't hindi nila ginawang c? Di ba? Para maging complex. Yun nga. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Di ba, guys? Sino pong gumawa ng z na to? Okay. Anyway, so, pinakialaman daw. And then, for us to convert this to polar, so from z, imaginary to polar, we convert this to r cosine theta plus r I sine theta. Or in short, we can express this in terms of r cis theta, whereas r is the radius, c is the cosine, I is the imaginary number, the unit imaginary number, and or the pure imaginary number, and s is the sine, and the angle is theta, and the theta is distributed to cosine and sine, as you can see here. Okay, or there is another way to write this one, guys. That's e I theta. Ayan, that's another way to write this polar form, and this is what we call the exponential form. Okay, pero don't worry about this, guys. Dito lang tayo mag-focus. Ito this is e. Kwan lang to. Ano ba yung tawag dyan? Add-on. Okay? Ayan. Hindi na kasi natin magagamit to. Wala na yung lesson natin eh. I mean, we cannot reach that lesson anymore. Okay, so these are the basics that you should know, that you should remember. Okay, and let's go to, okay, polar coordinate system. Sir, ang dami naman sir na coordinate system. Yes, ang dami actually. Okay, but in high school, konti lang siya. We have the rectangular, actually the real number line system. Yung isa lang, yung x-axis lang meron or y-axis lang meron. The second one is the rectangular. The next one is the complex coordinate system or coordinate plane. And the last one is the polar coordinate system. Okay? What is polar coordinate system? Now, it says here, guys, that it uses, wait lang, I'm going to use color. It uses angle measures and directed distance to describe the location of the point on a plane. So in a polar coordinate system, we're still looking or using the complex number. However, instead of using the a and b, we're using the argument and the argument in the radius. Okay? Now, di ba sabi natin, class, you can express z in terms of, or a plus bi in terms of r cis theta. Diba? So nawala yung A dito and B. Ang ginagamit na lang natin dito ay si R and theta. So sabi dito, actually it's just like a mathematical investigation project. Actually, wala tayo nun because of pandemic. But anyway, so sabi dito, sir, ba't parang walang hindi nagamit si radius and si theta dito sa graphing, di ba? Kasi we use A and B. Pero si R and theta, wala. So sabi ng mathematicians, oh, why not to use the radius and the theta since they're related to one another? Why not to put them in a plane or a coordinate system? And we call it the polar coordinate system. Why polar? Because we call this a polar form of the complex number. Did you understand that, guys? Nakuha po ba yon? Okay. And what is a polar coordinate system again? It is a system that use angle measures, theta, and the directed distance. When we say directed distance, that's the radius, diba? It is the distance from the point to the origin of a given complex number. And a set of polar coordinates consists of angle measure and the directed distance r. So theta and r are included in the polar coordinate system of a point relative to a fixed ray and a fixed point. And the fixed ray is called the polar axis. Ito yung polar axis natin, class. Okay, actually, this is the polar coordinate system. Sir, polar coordinate system po ba yun? Para siya, sir, angle measure lang. Oo nga, tama kayo doon. Parang angle lang naman siya, di ba? Illustration of an angle. You're correct there. But later, you will see the whole face or the whole world. World talaga, no? A whole new world to. Yeah, I'm not kidding. A whole new world of the coordinate system. So dito, class, portion lang or partial space or area lang ng polar system ang ginamit dito. Okay? And this is our polar axis. Actually, continuous yan dito. Pero this is the positive polar axis. Ito yung negative part. At ito naman yung, anong tawag dito, class? This is the, what do you call this? Anong tawag dito? Polar axis naman to. Okay? This is the main polar axis and this is just the length of the radius. Okay? Later, I will explain it furtherly. Now, the fixed ray is called the axis or the polar line. Ito yung polar line natin. Fixed ray. And the fixed point is called the pole or the origin. The pole is here. It's just like the origin in the rectangular coordinate system. Did you understand that, guys? Nakuha yun, ha? Again, this is a fixed ray, which is a polar axis or polar line. And the center is called the pole or the origin. Wait, may chat. Okay, yes lang naman. Okay, and now look at this. It's the radius. That's the segment or the length of the segment of the point from the origin or the pole. Okay, so sabi dito, class, any point P can be assigned to polar coordinates P with coordinates radius and theta. So ang x natin dito ay si R at ang y natin ay si theta. So iba na yung values natin, class. Okay? Where R is the distance of the point and of the point P to the pole O, yung origin natin. Theta is the angle measured from the polar axis to the line segment connecting the point to the pole OP. Ano daw, sir? Okay, don't mind me. Okay, so dito, class, this one, wait lang, change color tayo for me to easily show you how it works. So the polar axis is actually divided into different segments. Para lang siya, class, x-axis. May calibration. So let's say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is negative 1. No, it's not negative 1. Wait lang. Positive din pala to. Sorry. Kasi ito, class, naiikot to. Okay? Pwede itong naiikot. Naiikot tong part na to yung polar axis yan. Pero, again, ang fixed line natin, ang tawag ay polar axis. Ito yung polar axis natin. Alright? Kasi dito natin, or dito tayo magsisimula ng pag-rotate ng angle measure. Or this is the starting point of the angle measure. Okay? I will explain later. Now, positive to positive, positive, positive. Sir, bakit positive ito? Kasi ito, nagro-rotate lang naman siya. So whatever values or calibrations you placed here at the polar axis, these are also the things or calibrations that you will see in all parts of this region. All right? And again, this is the radius. As you can see, if the given radius, let's say the radius is equal to R, now ito yung R natin, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And it depends on the angle measured. For example, the angle measured is 30 degrees. 30 degrees or pi over 6. Now, eto siya. Ito yung angle niya. Ito yung graph ng coordinate, ng polar coordinates. Okay? Now, if ever class, the angle measure is 90 at ang radius natin ay 1, so nandito yon, nandito yung point natin. So, ang angle natin ay nandito. Okay? But, sige, let's do more para you will understand better. Wait, may mga nasa... Alright, so, here we go. Oh, by the way, question before we proceed, guys. Question so far? Medyo naguluhan ba? Guys, let me know ha, para at least alam ko kung ano yung mali ko or ano yung kailangan kong i-discuss furtherly. Alright, okay. Anyway, if you have question, just feel free to unmute your microphone. Okay, this is now class our, what's this, polar coordinate system. Okay, again, this is our, bakit negative to? Positive to class. Ayan. Bakit negative yan? Kasi I use the rectangular coordinate system. This is wrong, my goodness. Ba't di ko to nakita? Ni-screenshot ko lang to class sa GeoGebra, kaya hindi ko napalitan yung negative dyan. Okay? So lahat yung positive. So, now this is now our polar coordinate system. Okay? And again, this is the polar axis. Alright? And this is the pole. Okay? So may dalawang parts lang tayo. Pole and the polar coordinate, the polar axis. Now again, ito rinorotate yan. Rinorotate siya depending on the angle measure. Kaya as you can see, there are infinite number of circles, concentric circles. And the circles that you can see here are the length of the radius. Siya yung guide natin to identify the radius. For example, this one. This is 1. This is 2, this is 3. Ang gusto sabihin nito, radius 1, radius 2. The length of radius is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on and so forth. So, lahat to positive, lahat yung positive. Okay? And ito yung mga line to na straight. These are our guide. Actually, wala naman to eh. Wala ito. Ito lang naman talaga siya. See, polar axis lang and pole yung nag-i-exist. But for us to have a guide, I drew this. Okay? And ito yung mga broken lines na to. Ito yung mga guide natin for the measure of the angle or for the angle measure. Ilang lines ba to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 siya. Kung 90 to, so 15. 15 to, another 15, another 15, another 15, 15, 15. So therefore, this is 30. This is what? 45. This is 60. This is, ano bang after ng 60? Sorry, 75, and this is 90. Diba? Ganun yun. Did you understand, guys? Okay. Am I talking so fast or so slow or medyo magulo? Let me know, ha? Para alam ko kung alin ang kailangan kong i-verify. I know that this is something new to everyone. Okay? Ayan, i-erase ko lang. Okay, so let's plot the points. Okay, now for example, class, we have this. Letter A, our point is, dapat alam niyo kung paano mag-plot eh. Letter A, let's say the point is 3 pi over 6. Now, alam natin class, 3 yung radius natin. So dito muna tayo mag-start. So, bibilang tayo ng circle. 1, 2, 3. So nandito siya. Diba? But it's not yet the final point kasi radius lang siya eh. Ang tanong dyan ay, ano ba yung angle measure? Angle measure is pi over 6. What is pi over 6 equivalent to? That's 30 degrees, correct? The radius is 3 and the theta is equal to pi over 6 or 30 degrees. Now, saan natin makikita si 30 degrees? Si 30 degrees ay eto class. Ayan. Ayan siya si 30 degrees, di ba? This is 30 degrees. It is always starting from the, what do we call this again? From the polar axis. Okay? And of course, the point of intersection of the two is the pole. All right. Now, let me change color. Now, however, oh, by the way, this is our 60 degrees. 30 degrees. Ayan. Kaso, sabi dito class sa point na to, ang radius natin, sir, ay 3 lang. At ang angle natin ay 30 degrees lang. Pero sir, bakit nandyan? Sobrang laki naman. hindi pa siya tapos. So therefore, since guys, ito yung 3 natin, i-connect natin siya dun sa terminal side ng point na to. So nandito siya. So therefore, our point or our, our polar point can be found here, somewhere here. So nandito yung angle measure natin. Okay? Nakuha class. Ito yung, dito matatagpuan class yung point na to at yung segment niya. Okay? Originally, ito lang yung nag-exist. Sige, I changed the color. Para, originally, the only thing that you could see is this, the yellow one. Okay? And it means that the point here is 3 pi over 6. Ayan. Understood, guys? Nakuha po ba? Hey, may question? Wala. Okay, nakuha daw. I hope so, Kasi I'm not satisfied the way I explained it. Okay, sige, let's have, kasi class medyo ma-explain siya na mas mabuti pa kung magtatanong kayo. Malamang. Okay? Now, let's have another example para sure tayo na naintindihan nyo. 2, ang pangit ng ballpen ngayon. I mean ng pen. Sir, di naman sir pangit yung pen eh. Ever since from starting to quarter 1, ganyan ang sulat mo eh. Palusot ka naman sir eh. Oo ba class? Narinig ko may nagsalitang ganun eh. Ayan, wow, straight kasi mouse ang gamit ko. Okay, so the radius is 2, so nandito siya. Diba? Ito yung point, dito yung radius natin. So it means class, what's this? The final point will be or can be found in this circle. Sa circle na to. Hindi lang natin alam kung nasaan. Sa first quadrant, second, third, or fourth. Okay? However, this is 7 pi over 6. What is 7 pi over 6? That's more than pi over 6, di ba? 30 degrees. Tama ba ako? Hindi. Wait, 15 degrees pala. So it means nandito siya, class. Tama ba ako, class? Nandito siya. Kasi 15 yung value nito eh. Tama ba, guys? So the angle measure is found here. Starting from the polar axis, of course. Kasi siya yung initial point palagi. Am I correct, guys? Sige, let's do it one at a time. So r is equal to 2. Ayan, nandito na yung 2 natin. Dito natin makikita yung point na yan. And the theta is equal to 7 pi over 6. Ayan, 7 pi over 6 is equal to what, guys? 180 plus 15, 105 ba? Oh, wait. Ay, oo nga, no? Oo nga, sabi ko kanina 32 eh. My God, mali-mali si Mr. Madrona. Sir, wake up. Piling ko tulog pa ako, class eh. Gisingin nyo nga ako. Nagigising ako pag nagkakamali ako. Eh. Ayan, nagkamali na ako. So, gising na ako, class. 210. So, nandito. So, diba? Sabi ko sa inyo, ang hina ako sa arithmetic eh. Mali-mali ako mag-add. Sabi ni Jester, yes po, sir. Nag-agree talaga si Jester na mahina ako sa arithmetic. Oo ba, Jester? Umayos kay Jester. Joke lang. Yeah, ang dami kong error class sa arithmetic kasi I do calculate fast. Wala akong sinabing tama yung sagot ko. Mabilis lang ako mag-calculate, pero mali-mali. That sounds fun, you know? Don't worry, Jester. I took it seriously. No, joke lang. Okay, so tama na ba ako, guys? Kasi napaka-basic naman, di ba? Parang, sir, basic na basic niya, mali-mali ka ba mag-solve? Oy, nakakahiya itong 105. Recorded pa naman to. Kung ano pinagsasabi ko, recorded pa naman to. Ayusin natin, class, kasi this is recorded. My goodness. Sige, hindi ko siya ipapublic sa YouTube, nakakahiya. Okay, 7 pi over 6 is equal to 210. Tama, kasi this is pi plus pi over 6. 180 plus 30. My goodness. Paano ka nag-add, Mr. Madrona? I can't really imagine. Okay, so this is 7 pi over 6. And anyway, as long as hindi yung analysis yung mali, okay lang na arithmetic, no? Sir, mali pa rin. Yeah, I agree. Okay, this is theta. And the question there is, guys, alam niyo na kung paano i-plot yung angle measure Sa angle measure muna tayo. It's just so basic. It's just like you're sketching the triangle, di ba, in a unit circle. Parang ganun lang din yun. Kaya nga, I made sure that you understand everything about it. Okay. And I'm happy that you corrected me because it only means that you are paying attention, that you are paying attention and attentively, ano pa, that you are thinking at the same time. So, the radius is 2, so therefore, nandito siya. Therefore, class, ito yung point natin. The point here is 2, 7 pi over 6. Therefore, we can find this point on the third quadrant. Okay? And if we're going to locate, to show or illustrate the segment, nandito siya. Nakuha, class? Mr. Madrona, kung anong pinagsasabi. Porkit na mali. Okay. Did you understand it, guys? Okay, yan. Okay, good. Now, any question? Kung walang question, ako magtatanong ha. Sir, again guys, all of these are positive ha. Walang negative dyan, okay? Ayan, mga positive yan. Hindi ko lang siya napalitan. Now, ang question dito ay, sir, kasi mga radii ito kaya positive dapat yan. So sir, paano mo sir i-plot yung negative na radius? Wala nga tayong negative plus na radius kasi positive dapat sila. Sir, ano po sir yung tawag natin sa letter D? Di ba negative yan? Di ba? Si sir talaga, Okay. Mamaya na. Chillax. Okay. Chill lang muna tayo. Okay, let's work on letter C. Letter C muna tayo. The angle, the radius is, sige, isulat ko muna class. Letter C, 1 yung radius natin, tapos negative pi over 4. So the radius is 1. Tinabad na ako mag-change ng color. And the angle is negative pi over 4. Okay, let's use another color here. All right, so let's start with the radius. The radius is 1. So nandito siya. Ay, ang pangit. Ang liit. Sorry guys. Hindi siya ganun maganda kasi sobrang igsi niya, di ba? Ayan. Ayan. So this is now the segment of the radius 1, di ba? Radius 1. And then the angle measure is negative pi over 4. Sir, paano natin gagawin yung negative pi over 4? Anong tinuro ko sa inyo about the negative pi over 4 angle measure? Sige nga. Anyone? Gamitin niyo yung mga tinuro ko. Sir, may tinuro ka ba? Wala ka naman tinuro Wala nga. Walang sumasagot Guys. Yan, 45 degrees. Where? Okay, good. Clockwise direction. Yun lang naman ang gusto sabihin niya, di ba? So 45 degrees is somewhere here at the middle. Ayan, tama na ba ako, class? Hindi na ako mali, no? Tama na siya. 1, 2, 3. 15 times 3, 45. Ayan, here we go. Okay, so I sketched the graph of the angle correctly. Tama, no? Tama, class? Wala namang tutol dyan. Okay, and of course, the point can be found here. So, eto. And then, para makuha natin yung terminal side niya, eto yung tawag. Eto yung terminal side niya. And the point here is called 1 negative pi over 4. Ayan. Ganun lang kas kadali. Okay? It's just like an elementary plotting of points or a grade 7 plotting of points. Ganun lang siya. Iba nga lang yung x and y natin. Okay, so we're done with A, B, and C. Dito na tayo class sa negative. Sir, wala namang radius dyan na negative. Again, guys, positive to Sir, wala namang radius dyan ng positive. Bakit, sir, may negative sa given? Ewan ko dyan, hindi ko alam. Sino ba nagbigay nito or gumawa nito? Okay. Now, if that's the case, if the given class has a negative radius and whatever angle measured together with the radius, so negative 6, 2 pi over 3. So the radius is negative 6 and theta is equal to 2 pi over 3. Siguro may nag-advance na sa inyo. Sige, tanong, how do I plot these points? Or point pala. Isa lang pala ito. Guys, paano ko to gagawin? Or paano i-plot? Sir, 2/3 siya. Alin yung 2/3? Navarro. Ay, 2/3. My goodness. Oo nga no, kasi pi over 2 lang to. My God. Okay. Nakita ko to bigla. Okay, go Isa. My goodness, ang init kasi sa bahay, class. Dinahilan pa yung init. Okay, so let's start with the radius. Again, class, don't mind the negative here. Just look at it as 6. So, ang 6 natin ay nandito, di ba? Ayan. 6. Again, don't mind it at this moment. At this moment, 2 pi over 3 is, minus pi over 3. So, dapat nandito siya. Kaso, minus natin ang pi over 3. Pi over 3 is 60 degrees. So, ilan ba yun? Dito yun, no? Tama ba, guys? Yeah, tama. Dito siya. 6 to, no? Tama ba? Nandito. Tama, pinagtatawanan na ako ng Gluon, Ayan. Ayan. Okay. So, nandito yung angle natin. The angle measure is here. The angle measure is here. The angle measure can be found here because this is 2 pi over 3. 2 pi. Wala ko dyan, 10 minutes na lang. Ano bang pinagagawa ko sa buhay? Okay, 2 pi over 3. However, our radius is just equal to, ano ang baklas ng radius natin? I mean, radius ay 6. 6, so nandito siya. Diba? Ayan. Kaso, sabi dito class, negative daw si 6. Negative daw si 6 based on the given. So anong gagawin natin? Ang gagawin natin class ay kukunin lang natin yung opposite side niya. Ang opposite side niya ay nandito. Ito. Ayan. Tapos dito na natin siya makikita. So, 6, malamang nandito siya sa 6. Tapos yung exactly opposite niya, which is at the middle din. Nandito. So, therefore, this point is negative 6, 2 pi over 3. Ayan. Dito class natin makikita yung negative na radius. Yan yung twist na nangyayari. Okay? Understood. Gluon.
Resala.
Ano yun? Limuel? Naintindihan, Limuel? Guys?
Yes po.
Okay, good. How about you, Eroy? Did you understand? May konting twist na nangyayari, di ba? Okay, ganun lang class. So, it only means that when we are given a negative radius, just regard it as positive radius and then plot the point. Okay? And after plotting the point, go to its exactly opposite point. Doon mo makikita yung negative niya. Alright? And again,
sir, may tanong po,
yes.
sir.
Yes,
Paano po
Philip.
yung negative 6 po, sir? Nakuha po. Paano po yung negative 6 po, sir, nakuha?
Alin? Ito?
Opo, sir, yung negative 6 po.
Okay. Bali, hindi natin siya nakuha, kundi given siya.
Yung
Siya yung
given po
given,
siya
diba?
po, sir. Yung parang, kung saan po siya na... Sir, sorry po, sir. Kung saan po siya,
It's
sir,
okay.
nakalagay po sa map? Sa plane po.
Okay. Sorry, ano yun? Wait.
Saan po siya, sir, nakalagay po sa plane?
What do you mean? Hindi ko gets.
Sir, kung paano po siya na-determine po, sir, kung saan pong point po siya ilalagay?
Okay. Again, if the radius given is negative, just regard it as positive and then plot the point. And after plotting the point, since the radius is negative, go to its opposite. Okay? I-opposite mo lang siya.
Yung kasama pala po siya yung parang circular na grid po. Akala ko po square lang.
No, circular tayo because we're talking about
Sige po. Kaya pala po ano po. Sige po.
Okay, polar coordinate system tayo. Okay?
Sige po. Thank you po, sir.
Okay. Yan. Thank you for asking question. And dapat nagtatanong. Okay? Now, sabi ni Limuel, interchangeably 6 negative 2 pi over 3. Mamamali ka dyan, Limuel. Bakit? Kasi yung angle mo ay negative 2 pi over 3. Saan mo yan makikita? Dito mo siya makikita, di ba? Dito mo siya makikita yung angle na yan. So, hindi sila nagtagpo, hindi sila nag-coincide. Kung hindi, eto dapat yung angle measure natin. Okay? So, the angle here is negative pi over 3. Alright? And this is equal to 6 negative pi over 3. Ayan. So, etong point na to, pareho lang silang dalawa. Okay? Wait lang. Bawal negative, more like reflect on both axes. Hindi naman sa bawal yung negative, kundi we just need to translate the point since the given radius is negative. Y first, then X next. Pwede naman. Okay, you can make your own way to plot the point, especially if the radius is negative. Pero as simple as that, if the radius is negative, just make it positive. And to plot the original point given, just get its exactly opposite part in the polar coordinate system. Okay? So here, now this terminal side or point, guys, can also be named as 6 negative pi over 3. And they will coincide. Pareho silang nandito. Okay? And what does it mean? It only means that the points in the polar coordinate system class are not actually unique. Okay? Yung mga terminal sides na yan, hindi sila unique. Kasi you can have infinite number of points with the same terminal side and with the same point. Did you get it, guys? Okay? Tingnan mo to. Yung negative 6 and 2 pi over 3 natin na point, equal lang naman pala siya sa 6 and negative pi over 3. And what does this mean? Ang gagawin lang natin ay absolute value mo yung R pala to. Absolute value yung R tapos 180 ba? Ano no? 2 pi. Ayan, wait. Yeah, 180 or pi minus the given angle. Ayan. Nakuha, class? Ay, mali, no? Wait lang. Pi minus 1. Okay. Medyo nagugulahan ako dito. Pero, kasi sa akin, class, di ba? Alam niyo naman yung basic eh. Ba't magpo-formula ka pa? Eh, mas madali naman yung ganun. Anyway, so, theta minus 180. Ayan. Ito mas madali. Mali to. Theta minus 180. Okay? Pero if I were you, no need to memorize this kasi alam niyo naman kung paano siya gawin. Okay? Naturo ko naman kung paano kayo mag-plot ng points. Did you understand that, guys? Hello? Okay. I hope so. All right? Now, next. Graph the point with polar coordinates 3 and pi over 4. Tingnan natin to. Ay. Wala ka dyan. Walang given na, sige na nga, gawin na natin. Wala pala ako na ilagay dito. Okay, so let's say this is 1, 2, 3. And pi over 4 is just half of the, eto. Diba? Ay, okay, let's change. Guys, if we will be disconnected, kindly go back. Okay? Kasi nandun yung ibang questions sa next topic natin. Okay, and 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is what? This is pi over 4. Okay? So, nasaan yung point? Nandito yung point natin. Ayan. So, let me connect. Ayan. Oh, lutang pa ako, class. Kakatapos lang ng defense namin sa masters. Kaya lutang. Okay. Ayan, eto. So, therefore, this is 3 pi over 4. Ayan. Okay? So, eto na yung plot, yung point natin sa question number 1. Next, sabi dito, find other polar coordinate representations of P with radius greater than 0. Oh, ang radius daw natin ay greater than 0. Ano pa daw ba ang equivalent nitong point na to such that the radius is also greater than 0? Siyempre, 3 pa rin to, di ba? Hindi siya magbabago. 3 pa rin siya. Ano yung magiging angle measure natin, class? Sige nga. Ano yung magiging angle measure natin dito? Anybody could help me?
That's 2 pi,
Guys?
sir.
Sorry, what's that, Lingwell?
That's 2 pi.
Ayan, very good. Plus 2 pi. Bakit plus 2 pi? Kasi ikot tayo dito ng dalawa, ng isa pala. Ayan, more than 1. So 2 pi plus pi over 4, which is equivalent to ilan? 9 pi over 4. Tama ba, class? I-check nyo nga yung arithmetic ko. Mali-mali na naman. Okay, tama naman, no? 9 pi over 4. Am I correct? Guys? Okay, good. Very good, Limwell. Now, ano pa bang ibang pwede? Sir, pwede naman siyang 3 and 4 pi plus pi over 4. Di ba? Pwede naman yan. Yes, actually pwede yan. Or 3 plus 2 pi k plus pi over 4. Ito pwede to. Ito na yung general form ng solutions natin. That's why the point or the coordinate, polar coordinate is not unique in the polar coordinate system. Okay? Sir, can we have negative? Of course, we can have negative. How about, sir, starting or with a clockwise direction? Ayan, clockwise direction. So, eto. Ayan. So, ano bang point niya? So, magiging 3 pa rin siya, pero yung angle measure niya ay what, guys? This is 7 pi over 4. Am I correct? Negative. Okay. Ayan. So, let's start again. So, in number 2, we're going to get this the other condition wherein the radius is less than 0. So, here's the condition, and we're still looking for the point, okay, where the radius is less than 0 or negative. So our reference point is 3 pi over 4. Now, if the radius is less than 0 here, what would be our radius here? Guys. Ayan, good. Negative 3. Siyempre, the radius will not change. I mean, the magnitude of the radius will not change. Kasi pag hindi siya 3, it's either nahaba siya or iikli. Hindi na siya pareho, di ba? And the terminal point will not be the same anymore. Okay? Understood that, guys? Okay, so the question is, what is the angle measure? 5 pi over 4, sabi ni Chini. Chini, how did you get 5 pi over 4?
Sir, yung kabaligtaran po ng pi over 4 pero positive angle.
Okay. What's that? 5 over 4. So 5 over 4 is here, di ba? Nandito siya. And 1, 2, 3. Ayan. 5 pi. This is 5 pi over 4. Ayan. And this is negative 3, 5 pi over 4. Now look at this class. If this is negative 3 pi 5 pi over 4, positive pala to. Now, nasaan yung negative nito? Nandito, di ba? So, eksakto na silang pareho. Okay? So, it means, class, we're just going to sketch the graph of the reverse of this. I mean, the reflection, kumbaga. Okay? Exactly opposite point. And then, negate the radius for you to get the exact original point. Okay? Did you understand? Tama to. Tama yung sagot ni Chini. Okay? Did you get it, guys?
Apa.
Okay, good. Now, actually, the angle measure here can be other values. Pwede rin naman siyang negative. Okay? Pwede rin siyang negative. Negative 3. Ano bang measure nito? This is 5 pi over 4. This is 2 pi and then 3 pi over 4. Negative. Tama, di ba? Kasi nandito siya. Ito. Kaso, negative siya, so pupunta uli siya doon. Or pwede mo siyang paikot-ikutin if you want. Alright? Parang ginawa natin dito. Did you get it, guys? Naintindihan po ba? I hope so. Okay. So, na-discuss na natin to, di ba? Okay, so here we go. Now we're now getting closer to the last sample or last topic. Now let's have example number 4. Convert the following complex numbers into rectangular form. Okay, tandaan to class ha, because you will see this in our long test. Okay, so we have negative 2 cis pi over 6. Now, we need to convert this to rectangular form. Ano nga ba yung rectangular form natin? The rectangular form is expressed as a plus bi. Okay, where a and b are real numbers. We can see here the trigonometric functions, SOHCAHTOA and the CHOSHCAHTOA. All right, so how do we express this? This could be expressed in terms of the longer expression, which is equivalent to negative 2 cosine pi over 6 minus 2i sine pi over 6. Did you get it, guys? Pinahaba ko lang to. Okay? Naintindihan nyo na? So, since we are needing to express this in terms of A and B, then we need to simplify this. Siyempre, kung special angle yan, we don't need to use calculator. At hindi natin kailangan ng calculator dito. Alright? So what is cosine pi over 6? O, ito na naman. Balik na naman tayo sa pinakaunang lesson. Let's say this is pi over 6. That's 30 degrees. This is 1, this is 2, this is square root of 3. So cosine, that's square root of 3 over 2. Am I correct, guys?
Yes,
Tama ba,
sir.
class? Okay, good. Now, what is sine pi over 6? That's 1/2. Okay, and let's simplify. That's negative square root of 3 over 2. Sorry, negative square root of 3. Cancel yung 2 eh. And cancel din yung 2 dito. So that's negative 1. So therefore, this expression is equivalent or equal to negative square root of 3 minus 1. Okay? So this is the rectangular, this is the polar form, and this is the shortened polar form. Understood, class? Nakuha?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're not going to do number 2 because they just have the same meaning. Okay? Okay. Now, let's move on to the next. Eto, marami nito. I think there are 7 questions about this. Okay? Yung iba kasi 2 points yun eh. Okay, now how do we multiply? How do we perform the operations in complex numbers? May shortcut dito. Okay, pero muna, i-discuss muna natin yung long cut. Alright? So dito class, Z, sabi dito, let me change the color. So we're now discussing the product of two the product of two complex numbers. Okay, and again, our Z sub 1 is equal to A sub 1 plus B sub 1 I. Ba't may period dito? And our Z sub 2 is equal to A sub 2 plus B 2 I. And how do we get the product of these two? Ayan. Paano daw natin hinahanap yung product or minomultiply yung product nito? Now, dito class, sa problem na to, okay, sige, gawin natin R1, kasi di ba, this one could be expressed in terms of polar form. So now, we're multiplying polar form complex numbers, okay? So this is cosine theta 1 plus R1I sine theta 2. Ito naman ay R2 cosine theta 2. Wait, 1 pala to. Plus R2I sine theta 2. Nakuha, class. Okay? And how do we multiply this? Pag minultiply daw natin to class, ito lang yung formula na gagamitin natin. Okay? So we are multiplying the radius. So that's R1 times R2. And then, yung cosine na to, kopyahin lang natin. Tapos i-add natin yung angle measures nila. Theta 1 plus theta 2 plus I. Siyempre, I na siya, di ba? And then, eto naman na sign, kukopyahin lang natin. Pero yung angles natin ay i-add natin dalawa. So when we multiply, we just add the number, the angle measures. Okay? Bakit may parenthesis dito? Useless na parenthesis dito. Anyway, did you understand, guys? Look at this. We just added the angle measures, but the pattern or the form still the same, and the radius of two complex numbers were just multiplied. Okay? Did you get it, guys? Nakuha po ba yun? Okay. So let me erase this, okay? Erase ko muna. Ayan. Ay, wait. Ba't tayo ma-erase lahat? Ba't tayo? Ayun. Parang baliktad, class. Erase pen, tapos automatic na erase lahat. Yung erase, kailangan mong erase individually. Oh, weird. Okay, anyway. So, how do we do this? How do we apply this rule? Ito, yung rule natin. So, ang mangyayari, class, ay this is our Z1, this is our Z2. Ang radius natin ay 2 and 5. Alright? So, Z1 times Z2 is equal to, we multiply the two radius or radii, that's 2 and 5, times, we just copy the cosine, and ano ba yung mga angle measures nila? 20 and 70. We add them up. 20 plus 70 degrees plus I sine, ganun din. Okay? So 20 plus 70 degrees. Or what is the shortcut formula here? Paikliin natin, class. Ang gawin natin, R1 times R2 cis theta 1 plus theta 2. Ito na yung shortcut niya. Alright? So, ano bang nangyari dito? Ito, si radius, multiply natin, yung radii, si angle measures naman ay inad lang natin. Okay? So, let's simplify. This becomes 10 cosine 90 degrees plus I sine 90 degrees equals 10. Okay, what is cosine? Yan, sabi dito class, in the form of rectangular a plus bi. What is 90? That's 0 plus I. What is 90? That's 1. So this becomes 0 plus 10i, which is equal to 10i. So therefore, the product is now 10i. Okay? Did you understand? Did you understand, guys? Naintindihan po yun? Naintindihan nyo na? Okay, the other way around here is this. You can convert this to rectangular right away, rectangular form right away if it's possible. However, since you have 20 and 70, they're not special angles, so it's quite hard to express it in terms of rectangular form since we need to use calculators. Hindi na siya magiging accurate, diba? Kaya we need to apply this rule for us to get a special angle, which is 90. Okay? After we add 20 and 70. Did you understand that, guys? Nakuha na? Okay, let's try another one. Okay, another one here. So since this is still a product, so Z1 times Z2, so this is our Z1, this is our Z2, and we are converting this to rectangular form. Equals, ito yung radius nila, so 3 times 2/3 times cis lang naman yan, class, di ba? R cis. And ano ba yung angles nila? Pi over 18 at 5 pi over 18. So pi over 18 plus 5 pi over 18. Ayan. Okay, so let's simplify. I can cancel this. So this becomes 2. Cis. What is pi? What is the sum of these two angles, class? This is equal to 6 pi over 18. That's pi over 3. Am I correct, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Tama naman, di ba? Okay, so here, what we're going to do is, let's simplify, or let's make it a longer version of the polar form, okay, of complex numbers. So this is cosine pi over 3 plus I sine pi over 3. Okay, and let's simplify. Simplify na ba natin to since pi over 3 is special angle? Yes. What is cosine pi over 3? Guys?
1/2, sir. 1/2.
1/2. Okay, good. And what is sine pi over 3? Square root of 3 over 2. Am I correct? Yeah,
Yes,
kasi
sir.
complementary lang sila. Ay, hindi sila complementary. Okay, so let's distribute. This becomes 1 plus I square root of 3. Ayun na, na-cancel pala yung 2. Equals Z. Siya yung product ng dalawa. Okay? So, eto na yung sagot natin. Understood, class? Naintindihan po ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. Madali lang, di ba? So, it means, class, you will get an easier, automatic, mayroon na kayong 7 points doon. Alright? Now, next, how do we divide? Yung division naman, class, ganito lang. Ito lang, oh. Instead of adding, okay, you subtract the angles and the radius are being divided. Siyempre, kung sino yung nasa baba, siya yung nasa denominator na radius at siya yung negative na angle. Siya yung sinusubtract natin. Nakuha, class? So let's say this is Z1 and this is Z over 2. So which means z, which is z1 over z2 is equal to, ano ba to? 3 over 9. Oh, ano mangyayari dito, class? This becomes cosine 50 degrees minus 20 degrees plus I sine 50 degrees minus 20 degrees. And to counter-check, kung ano man yung value dito, class, dapat ganito rin yung value dito. Pag magkaiba yung values nila, magtaka ka na. Okay, run, Sarah, run. Joke lang. Okay, magtaka ka na, class, because there's something wrong in your solution, if ever that is, or if ever they're different. Okay, so this is 1/3. So this becomes cosine 30 degrees. Ayan, special angle na ulit. Sine 30 degrees, which is 1/3. What is cosine 30 degrees? Cosine 30, that's square root of 3 over 2 plus I. Sine 30 is 1/2 times 1/3. Wala ko dyan. So, ilagay natin dito, class. Sorry. So, Z is equal to square root of 3 over 6 plus I over 6. Ano ba yan? 6. Ayan. So, eto na yung sagot natin. Did you get that? Class? Naintindihan po ba? I hope so. Okay, lastly. Ano ba yung last? Eto. Sige. Method, the usual method lang muna tayo. Okay? The usual method tayo. So, Z, since quotient sila, ang mangyayari dito ay, since ang radius nila ay parehong 1, make sure that the radius is factored out. So, we have 1 times cosine. Bakit kaya pag white, medyo maganda-ganda yung sulat, no? Cosine pi minus pi over 3 plus I sine pi minus pi over 3. Ayan. And then this becomes cosine. Anong sagot dito, class? 2 pi over 3. Baka mamaya mali-mali na naman ako, no? Sine, please recheck. 2 pi over 3. Ayan. What is, since we're talking about a plus bi, okay, rectangular form tayo, so we need to convert this to a plus bi. What is cosine 2 pi over 3? This is 60 degrees. Am I correct? Yeah, 60 degrees. Yeah, 60 cosine. So 1/2, negative 1/2. Tama ba? Ayan, good. Thank you, Linwell. And what is sine 2 pi over 3? Square root of 3 over 2. Ito na yung sagot. Or negative 1 plus I square root of 3 all over 2. Pwede rin siyang ganun. Okay? Did you get it, guys? Yun ang sagot natin. Or if you want to make it if you want to make it shorter, ganito na lang gawin natin. Pero strategy lang to, class. It depends on how you're going to do it. Nasa inyo pa rin siya. So the given can be written as cis pi over cis pi over 3. Ganun lang siya, di ba? Ganito lang. Am I correct, guys? Correct? Okay. So this can be converted into cis pi minus pi over 3. Ayan, ganun lang, kasimple, di ba? So cis 2 pi over 3. And then, dun mo na siya pahabain since you're going to convert this into a plus bi. So cosine 2 pi over 3 plus I sine 2 pi over 3. And then simplify or evaluate. That's negative 1/2 plus square root of 3i over 2. Ayan. So they just have the same value. Okay? And sir, can we do that here on the previous solution? I mean, in the previous, yeah, actually we can do that here. Paano natin, sir, gagawin yan? Okay, yan. That's a good question. Okay. So ang gagawin natin dito ay, ano ba to? So 3 over, sige, isulat ko muna dito, class, para maintindihan, maalala ko. So magiging siyang cis 50 over cis 20. Ayan. Tama, class, no? Tama ba? Ayan. So this is 3 cis 50 over 9 cis 20. Tama ba? Okay, so with the use of the quotient of two complex numbers in polar form, 1/3 cis 50 minus 20, which is equal to cis 1/3 cis 30 degrees. Ayan. Tama naman guys, no? So 1/3 cosine 30, or if you can solve it directly, mas maganda, I sine 30 degrees. Ayan. So 1/3. What is cosine 30 degrees? Cosine square root of 3 over 2 plus sine 30, that's 1/2. 1/2 nga ba? Yeah. Which is equal to square root of 3 over 6 plus I over 6. Tingnan nga natin kung parang sagot. Ay, baliktad. Oh, yeah. We got the same answer. Di ba mas madali pag sinimplify mo muna yung expression? Guys? Okay. Any question?
Wala na po.
Wala. So far, clarification. Mark, Limwell, and Ginny, regarding long test or whatever, any question guys would do?
Sir, yung schedule pa.
Yung schedule wala pa. Pero hindi ko nga alam kung ba't wala tayo eh. Sana nga wala na tayong long test, no? Kaso nga lang class, iniisip ko rin yung mga batang medyo mababa sa long test 1 kasi wala na silang pambawi. Ay hindi, magkaiba pala yun. Zero kayo dun, di ba? So, kailangan talaga natin ng long test 2. At iniisip ko rin yung performance ng long test 1 ng ibang bata na medyo mababa. Kawawa naman sila, di ba? Wala na silang pambawi if ever. So, kailangan talaga may long test 2 para bumawi. Kaya, ang schedule na propose ko ay Wednesday, last day siya. Supposedly, Monday dapat tayo eh. Kaso, naunahan tayo. So, Wednesday siya, most probably, after ng bio. Okay? Pero I'll give you an update class, I think tomorrow. Basta before long test, maibibigay ko sa iyo yung schedule natin. And don't worry because a day before naman, we're going to have the batch review. Okay? Other questions? Did I answer your question, Mark?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Welcome. Any other question aside from that? Lessons, topic, concept that you want to clarify? Chini?
Po.
Limwell, wala na? Yan, wait.
Wala na po.
Anong coverage? We will start from laws of sines and cosines until this topic, the last one. Okay? So there are only 21 items at our class. All right, good for 40 points. And isa lang naman yung problem solving doon, where you need to show your solution. There are 2 sub-questions, by the way, and you need to use calculator. So doon lang kayo gagamit ng calculator sa problem solving. Sana nga lahat honest, no? Kasi yung iba, starting 1 to end of the question in long test, nagka-calculator eh. How can I say so? Oh, wait, class. Ayan.